speaking engagements.
One of my favorite talks is about human potential. The video is called Telepathy in the Complete Human. And essentially I just awaken people to, our hidden potential. And we've got a whole load more senses than just five. We've got a whole lot more abilities than we're aware of. And I highlight things that, happen to people, which means if they can happen to somebody because, they had a stroke or they got bashed on the head or a couple of wires crossed somewhere, and then they have these amazing abilities, that means these abilities are latent in us.
Right.
We just don't know how to access them. Yeah, and actually there are ways of accessing them that other people have found. So I talk about that. So there's that. I talk about languages, actually. There's a video called The Language of Creation, where I found out reading the Old Testament that the whole earth spoke one language, and it was called Paleo Hebrew. And it was the language that the Most High conversed with Adam with, and what the Most High used to create the universe with. And I show how we lost that language, the Tower of Babel incident. And the fact that as you come into this world, you speak Paleo Hebrew. And because of the Tower of Babel incident, you come into this world speaking the language, and then you find that your parents can't speak the language, so you have to learn their language. And you'll find that this language, Paleo Hebrew, is completely different from the languages that we speak in this world today. That we have to, we understand in the left-hand side of our brain, right? And we have to guess at what somebody means. So when you speak to me, I'm continuously guessing at what you're saying to me.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, if we actually started comparing notes about what you said to me, I'll have a completely different view to what you actually meant.
Right.
But the language that our original language, comes from here, comes from your heart. You understand it, you know it. It's intuitive. Okay. I do this example a lot, so I'm going to do it again with you, I guess. So you might have heard it if you've seen some of my videos. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration of what the difference is between, if you don't mind, that is.
Oh no, of course not.
So the difference between English and Paleo Hebrew. Okay. So I'm going to describe a film to you in English. You have to tell me what the film is. Okay. A man on the autistic spectrum recounts his life to strangers. What's the film?
Recounts his life to strangers. Oh goodness. I don't know.
A man on the autistic spectrum recounts his life to strangers. Any ideas? Any?
I can't remember. I'm picturing Russell Crowe.
Oh, so A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to tell you if you're right, but what happened there when I was describing the film to you, in the left-hand side of your brain, you started listening to the sounds I was making, fetching the meanings of those sounds, right, and then comparing them to a list of films you'd seen.
That's why I was looking to my left.
Yeah, and you had to guess. You guessed at Beautiful Mind. Yeah, other people have guessed at Rain Man and Forrest Gump and a couple of others. Yeah.
Oh, Forrest Gump.
Right. So I'm going to tell you the same film in Paleo Hebrew. Okay. So Paleo Hebrew is a language of pictures, and so I'm going to use emojis. Okay. So, man running, a few trees, a park bench, a box of chocolates, a shrimp, and a boat. What's the film?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, and I knew you knew it. Yeah, right.
That's funny.
The difference there is when I started describing the pictures, right, the left-hand side of your brain couldn't get involved because it was pictures. Your left-hand side of your brain cannot analyze pictures. Yeah,
Right.
it can analyze language, but not pictures. So it was cut out of the process. Yeah, so you were imaging the pictures, and all of a sudden you knew what the film was.
Right.
There was no doubt. Yeah, it can't mean Beautiful Mind. It can't mean Rain Man. It can only mean one thing, one film. Yeah.
Right.
And I could have given you those pictures in any order. Yeah. And you would have still known it was Forrest Gump for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. When you describe this, I'm picturing like the Egyptians, because the hieroglyphics. I mean, they painted a lot of pictures in their historical.
Right. Yes. But hieroglyphics came from Paleo Hebrew. And I can show in that video I show how Paleo Hebrew, where Paleo Hebrew was on the map, and then how it spread out, and you can see that all languages west of Israel, the languages became symbolic, right, and abstract. So all the letters didn't mean anything; they were just shapes. Yeah. But you go east of that area, all the letters of the languages retain that pictorial view. So Sanskrit, Chinese, Arabic, they're all pictograms, right? And so you can see how it's all pointing towards one place, one starting place, and it all spread out from there.